Hello friends! Today I'm going to talk briefly about the act of practicing and what it involves and what actually is. Practicing involves repetition as well as listening to a particular piece. I personally prefer to listen to other pieces composed by the same composer of the piece that I'm learning, just so I get myself more familiar with the style of that particular composer. Then I like to also listen to that piece with the music in front of me, just so I engage both my audible memory and the visual memory as well. Then obviously I make some notations on the music if there are any particular fingerings that I want to use, or bowings or tempo changes and so on. Then obviously I start the physical process of practicing, which means I start to play the piece in a slower tempo at the beginning and then gradually in a faster tempo up to the final speed of the piece. Then I like to record myself just so I have a feedback about how I sound. And very often the way I hear myself close to the instrument is very different than what the listeners could hear. So I like to have this feedback as often as possible, although that is not an easy process for a musician, because I hear my intentions when I play, and I think that they are obvious enough for the people that listen to me, but obviously I have to over-exaggerate things just so it sounds clearer for the audience. And then of course it comes the final stage, which sometimes involves concert or any type of live performance. The act of performing is more creative, and as a musician I like to go with the flow regardless of what happens. Sometimes it does involve some changes, depending on the acoustics of the room, depending on the temperature of the room, depending on how I feel on the spot, depending on the response of my partner that I play with, or partners, depending on the group that I play with, whether that is an orchestra or just a smaller chamber music group. So yeah, this is a very interesting experience. It is a long journey, and after all those steps, the piece is learned. Now, throughout a lifetime, we as musicians come back to the pieces again and again. So every time I come back to a piece, I find it with different eyes. I like to adjust things. I like to try new things. So the journey is never the same. And that's very helpful for developing creativity. So if you find any other comments that haven't been said here in this video and you would like to add, just feel free to share them and feel free to start any discussion on the topic. Take care and have a nice day.